Welcome to Sharp or Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the show that makes the squares sharper and makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I am joined, as always, by my BFF, my companion, my co-host, my compadre, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, how we doing?
Dude, ready to rock and roll. Stayed up late to watch some great baseball. Not impacted by moving the clocks back at all. I am ready to roll. This is the stripped down, in the room, eavesdropping version of Sharp or Square. You and I are going to try to nail down our 5 picks now that we know all about the injuries and the latest line moves. Are you ready, Simon Hunter?
Let's get into it.
These are the games that we had pretty much locked in on the other day, and I think we feel good about 4. We're going to have a challenge on the 5th. Here we go. Los Angeles Chargers -9 at Tennessee. Reminder, our history with the Chargers in this spot is not good, meaning when we back them on the road as a favorite against a team that we think stinks. But this is not just a bad team. It is a bad team that is without Calvin Ridley at receiver today, is without starting safety Xavier Woods, it is without starting linebacker Arden Key, and most importantly, their best player, defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons. The last thing I'll say, because I want to get to your take on this. When ESPN reported Jeffrey Simmons was not going to be playing, they listed 5 players who are going to be trying to fill his role in rotation. That's not good.
Yeah, and it's a game that I laughed about because I've been getting a lot of shit the books this week. Like last night, World Series, everyone's there. Even guys I haven't seen in a while came to the book last night because it's like, it's just a night you got to be there. And this was a big one. A lot of guys talking about this game where it's like every pro is taking a position on Tennessee. And I said to them, this isn't 2-3 years ago. This is a totally different league. These are key numbers. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little scared when that number held at 8.5 for a couple days. I couldn't get over that because it's like getting pounded by professional money and public money. Luckily, been up all night. That extra hour killed me. It was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Yeah, we got some books popping the 10, and that's what I needed to see. I needed to see some books touch the 10 because that lets me know that they're not really trying to take a position here on Tennessee and that it's not all professional money holding this one up. So we like the matchup. I still can't believe we're doing this. Like, this is such a non-bet we never make, a really, really public road favorite after they had a blowout win in a primetime game. But it's the trends are nice here, and it's also a new age like we talked about in football. So this is just another back-to-back get-right spot for this Chargers team and a great matchup for them. Like you said, key guys are out for this Tennessee team, and a team that cannot afford to be missing these guys. So we need this to hold as we are at 9. I would not take this at 10, but if you could get it right now at 9, I'd still get it, people.
I love that you took the extra hour to keep doing more work and try to figure out how to spend your time. I took the extra hour to exercise for 50 minutes on the Peloton before the show instead of after the show.
Well, again, you're not up this late. It's never not weird where every year I forget when the time changes. And it's like, it's 1:30, I'm working, all of a sudden I look up and I'm expecting to be 2 or 3, and it's 1:15.
Yeah,
and
right.
Like, what just happened? So that's always very weird. Again, as a man that has not married no one in my life to tell me the clocks are moving back, it's never good.
You can always call me. I'll tell you. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit is a 9-point favorite. This was Chad's choice. This is another one where I'm glad it finally ticked up. I think some of this is a lot of public money starting to come in on Detroit. At the end of the day, the reason why I like this, and I think you like it too, is we believe more in Jared Goff and Dan Campbell at home as big favorites given their history plus their running game, which is the strength of this team, than we do in JJ McCarthy on the road in his first game after nearly 2 months of being out, and a Vikings run defense that just frankly has not been very good this year.
Yeah, and this is another bet where I like to lie to myself and say I wouldn't usually make this, but I would years ago because of what you just talked about. It's Campbell, Goff in a matchup at home against a team that's just struggling right now. And this is not the answer, right? JJ, him coming in and burning us because there's no tape on him, and he has this incredible, impressive game, because there is a winner in him. Like, we know he has
Of course.
a guy that knows how to win and make big plays at big moments, but this just feels like a horrible, horrible spot for this kid to step into, rusty, walking into this. And you talked about the Flores defense. It's not what it was last year, right? They're not getting these turnovers. They're not getting pressure on the quarterback. You said their run defense is just terrible. Their best thing is their pass defense, but I think we've seen them against a couple of good passing offenses. That might not be so true. So it just might be a horrible disaster spot for them. And like you said, this number, a bunch of books are already pushing 9.5. Hopefully people listen to Chad here. Chad's choice got it to 8.5. It's moving on up. It could get 10 by kickoff.
Look at us. 2 games down, 2 huge, chalky public favorites of more than a touchdown. This is what happened to us. Denver at Houston. Houston -2 now. This was our brass balls. And I got a lot of questions about this. How can we make this our brass balls? Look, we're still betting a team that's under 500, that is a favorite in a game that flipped, in which they used to be underdogs against a first-place team. It's moved a little bit, I think, because Nico Collins is going to be playing, and it moved a little bit off of the injury news about Pat Surtain that he won't be playing. So I like the matchup here. I like the opportunity. I like the Texans defense. I have no fear betting this at 2. We've been betting at -1.5.
Yeah, and to the naysayers, be happy. We almost made the Chargers this bet, which I really don't think takes any balls. I think this takes much more balls in the fact that, like Chad said, this is a true test for CJ. This is going to be the best defense he's faced. This is going to be the best offensive line this Houston's front is faced defensively. So I think it takes a little bit of balls, but the big reason we loved it so much too is we kept hammering home. We thought the line, we were getting a good number. It's proven out. I mean, a couple of really public books out there are still at the 1.5. I'd still grab that if you can, but a lot of books I've already hit 2.5 this morning. So you can see the way the professionals are going, and I think it's another week the public's going to try to fade this Texas team. Like last week, the 49ers, but it's not as extreme. I think last week we joked it was like 80% of the bets on the money was coming in on that 49ers side. This is way more split, right? There's much more professional money. The tickets obviously is on Denver, but the money is on Houston here. So, but we try to give out the best of the number. I feel like we did it Sunday night, gave out the +1.5 early in the week, gave out the 1.5 and gave it again on Thursday. So yeah, it's just a number I would be shocked if it all holds at 2.5. I could see more buyback from the public this morning on this Broncos team, but the direction, like I said, it's going is -2.5.
Last one we agree on. Kansas City at Buffalo. Kansas City's -2 right now. This was Simon Says when it was Kansas City -1.5. This one also has bounced around. Like it got as high as 2.5, then got bet down. There's some places where you can still get a 1.5. I think there's some professional community elements here that really like Buffalo and think that Kansas City has been riding high and might be a little overvalued because of their wins the past few weeks. I think you and I just don't trust Buffalo's defense as much as playing Buffalo's defense, and we do very much trust Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the pros, their position, they've come in on the +2.5 with this team, so you have seen it fluctuated, but it does look like that's where it's starting to settle a little bit, right? Which I am shocked by. I thought the pros would keep this at -1.5, just because I didn't realize there'd be so much resistance here. I really thought the Bills would be a public play and the pros would be on this Chiefs team. For what I talked about, like it's as much as people want to say Josh Allen's numbers are the same as they were the year before. Talk to any real Bills fans, he just doesn't look the same. He looks a little off, and the schedule has been much softer this year than it was last year, and that's including a bad loss to the Patriots, which maybe the Patriots are better than I'm giving credit for, and then a really bad loss to Atlanta. So I don't know. This would be the type of game that Josh Allen does show up and put up big numbers, and that's what they're going to need here, because I just look at this matchup for this Chiefs team. I know the Bills got guys back, but I just don't see anyone in their secondary that's going to give real problems to this Chiefs passing attack. So, yeah, Chad, I think we have 1.5 in the contest. Like you said, it's -2 at Hard Rock. Shop around, see if you can still find the 1.5. Like I always say, 2 is such a key number. This is going to be a tight one. I just can't see either side blowing out either side. So a lot of people ask about teasers. You can put this in the teasers, but if anything, I'd tease the Bills up, which I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be trying to middle this one. I'm just heavily invested in the Chiefs here. So to me, if you can find the 1.5, obviously grab it.
All right, so those are the four we know we like: Chargers, Lions, Texans, Chiefs. How far we've come. All favorites. Years ago, we'd be battling to find a favorite that we love, just one to put into the contest. Now we have four that we love and have totally agreed on. We're having a hard time agreeing on a lot of other games this week. There's three that I want to raise right now, including the game that will be our Rock and a Hard Place, Hard Rock Bet of the Week. This one will not, but I just want to ask you about it because it all feels fishy to me. Chicago is a 2.5-point favorite at Cincinnati. It's been bet down from 3, so the wise guys came in at 3. Trey Hendrickson, doubtful. Joe Flacco, questionable. This line is stinky, stinky, stinky. Like, I don't get why Chicago isn't being pounded, and it's kept me from betting the Bears at -2.5 because it makes no sense that knowing Trey Hendrickson is not going to be playing and that Joe Flacco is questionable and we're getting Jake Browning and nobody on defense. Why is nobody in the wise guy community betting the Bears?
Because no one trusts the Bears, myself included. Like, I was going to be all over this if there was no Joe Flacco, but that's a big deal, the fact that he's going to be back against your very suspect, banged-up defense. So, Caleb should have a big game.
He's questionable, though.
Who, Flacco?
Yeah.
He practiced, though. And, he practiced, I believe, Thursday, and then they showed him what they needed to see, and so they rested him.
Okay.
I can't state enough. He'll, if he needs to, he'll get a shot. They need him. And he knows that, and he wants to play. So I think they're going to make it work because I early bet the Bears when I thought there was a possibility there was going to be no Flacco with you. I think we talked about it on Thursday. As soon as I saw he practiced, and he looked good throwing it, just same old Joe. So I just was like, okay, I'll get out of this position. And another game where normally I'd be hammering this Bengals team. This probably should be closer to a pick, honestly. Again, no disrespect to this Bears team, but this is a team that when they do win, they on the road especially, they win these close games that they really have to grind it out and fight to get that final possession. Vegas game, they stole that one. Washington Commanders, they stole that game. It's really interesting to see Caleb develop. I know no Swift, right? I think Swift's out for this game as well. He's been a bright spot for this team offensively. So I think that's why the pros have come in. But like you said, I'm happy. This is another game I'm just happy to avoid if I can. Because Joe Flacco takes the wrong hit like you're talking about. They'll yank him. He's playing already on a bad shoulder. And on the flip side, I just don't know how much I trust the Bears as a 2.5-point favorite on the road, even against a suspect team like the Bengals.
Yeah, same. That's why I haven't really invested in this game. Carolina +13 at Green Bay. We talked about it on Thursday. Simon, Carolina is going to be our Rock in a Hard Place, Hard Rock Bet of the Week. Look, Bryce Young is starting. This line is barely moved. And I feel like the number is based on a really bad game for Carolina in which Andy Dalton was playing against Buffalo and a really good 20 minutes for the Green Bay Packers against the Steelers. From 5:43 on against the Steelers, the Packers dominated. They outscored them 21-6 in the final 20 minutes. So it just feels like too big of a number for a Carolina team that is getting discounted because of a really, really bad game that could have been an anomaly for how they had been trending both defensively and with Bryce Young.
Yeah, and I feel like this number probably doesn't fluctuate a lot because there are some pros taking positions on Green Bay because they viewed last week as, okay, this is going to be the Green Bay getting healthier now, getting into form, and just going to start steamrolling teams because they are, most people have them graded out as the third or fourth best team in the NFC. I know a lot of people in the media have them number one because of their record, but they're still an unproven team. So that's why it's if we get burned here, it would be brutal, but this is an insanely inflated line. I think you were in agreement here. This probably should be 10 because this Carolina team got so embarrassed. On the flip side, Green Bay had such a dominant win. It feels like we're getting 3 points. There's 13.5s out there, people. So we know the deal here. We're going to need Bryce Young to put up points, right? Carolina's defense, Green Bay, if Jordan Love's on, they're going to be able to move the ball. They just don't have defensive weapons to really get stops. I guess a team that just has multiple receivers that rotate that are good, and then Tucker Kraft in that run game. It's just a really when Green Bay's got a gun, we know we're walking into one here. But I think, like we talked about, this defense that can be passed on. We've seen even Jacoby Brissett was passing the ball against the Green Bay defense. Like, they have a secondary that can be passed on. All the weapons are healthy for Carolina, passing game rise. Rico Dowell is apparently going to be the number one today, which I really love for the Carolina. Like, this guy's earned it. Huge. I'm a huge Chuba Hubbard fan, but let's be honest here. It's just it's night and day. Rico Dowell, every time he touches the ball, it feels like he's getting 6 or 7 yards. So we should have our number one back with our number one quarterback with all the weapons in Carolina here, and it's just a big spread. So we're always going to be even when we're down 20-0, Chad. Me and you are still going to be believing. Hey,
Totally.
We still got this backdoor opportunity. So I love that fact this is up to 13, such a key number. And we both agree this is an inflated line.
All right. So the one thing that scares me the most is I love watching Matt LaFleur press conferences. He's kind of a dick. And he gave a great answer. They asked him a question in the press conference about Halloween. And his answer was, I told my assistant, I don't give a shit if it's Halloween. I'm trying to win a game.
Jesus.
That is what's scary when you're talking about Matt LaFleur. We've bet on that attitude a couple of times and it hasn't worked out. So I'm hoping today, again, it can be another win for us with Carolina.
Crazy as LaFleur is, he doesn't really lay it on teams. He tries to keep as many plays as he can hidden, which I love about LaFleur. Like, if he's up by 10, they just run it 3 times. Like, they get it back, they'll just run it 3 times. So like we talked about, this is just a very, very big number.
Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. This is the golden time of year when it's not just pro football, NBA, college football, college hoops, and hockey all share the stage. There's always something to bet on. If you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet yet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets. And if you're looking for an edge before you lock in, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Here's one that stood out to me as favorites. The Indianapolis Colts have won 12 straight versus the AFC. Check out the Stats Hub now and get the edge and bet with confidence. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida. And it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado. Coming soon to more states, too. And Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single day. So whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. Last game. And I feel like this is the one we're going to put in for our 5th. Atlanta at New England. The line is 4.5. It's been bet down from 5.5. I liked Atlanta at 5.5. You've liked New England. I just feel like New England is at peak, and Atlanta, because of what happened last week, is low. And they're getting the players back that missed last week to make it go low. So, tell the people what you told me before we went on the air.
Jesus, Chad. I basically let Chad know. Very rare do I get bullied at the book about Chad's picks and me missing it and Chad seeing it. But that's how professionals better feel this Atlanta game. And like I said on the show, I even think I said on Thursday, like, I know this is the professional side. There's a ton of games this week. Like, this should be a great week for the professionals and the sports books, but just worried. We're just in a new age here, and that's my fear here. Like, everything you said is true. New England's overinflated. This line should be 3.5. We've seen at times when New England's looked bad, like they did against Pittsburgh, and, turnover bug hits them, and they're just not a mature team, right? Like, Vrabel came here. This is the first year. They still have many holes that's, shielded because they have such an easy schedule. Like, they just haven't played tough matchups. So For this one, a lot of the pros, what they talked about is, I think a little bit what you spoke about is, if you're going to attack this Patriots team, sure, they might be good at stopping the run, but they're really susceptible to running backs out of the backfield, which Robinson could be argued as one of the best receiving backs out of the backfield. And they're not good across the middle, right? They're not great with tight ends and patterns through the middle of the field. So I think it'd be a big Pitts game as well. So they do have the pieces on Atlanta to really make this team struggle. And it is 5.5 in the contest. So I haven't bet it. I told you, I took a little position in Atlanta on the Patriots. Really had no feel for this game, but you're confident in it. The other pros are confident in it. I'm not going to fight you on if we put it as our 5th one. Well,
I like it also. We're getting a little bit of a better number. I think Green Bay in this game in the contest is 12.5. So we like Carolina plus 13.5. We like Atlanta. At least I do. I think we're going to I'm committing us to putting Atlanta into the contest. So to be clear, our final 5 are going to be Los Angeles Chargers. It's 9 right now. We like it at 9. It's 8.5 in the contest.
No, Chargers are 9.5 in contest.
It's Chargers minus 9.5 in the contest. I think we're fine with that.
Yeah. I said as long as under 10.
Minus 9.5. Kansas City, we're putting them in the contest. 1.5 in the contest.
Yeah.
Great. It's 1.5s are still out there. Go get it. Houston, 1.5 in the contest. I think you can still get some 1.5s on Houston. Detroit, 8.5 in the contest. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be tough to find 8.5s, but we like Detroit at 9 as well, which is what you can get in a lot of places right now. Atlanta is 4.5. We liked it at 5.5. We're gonna take advantage of that. We're playing Atlanta 5.5 in the contest. So those are the final 5. This has been Sharper Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back on Sharper Square YouTube tonight, live at 7:30, after the afternoon games, after Chiefs Bills, really, to recap all the misery and glory of the day. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharper Square. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Also, download from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars. Say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until tonight, love you.
Hey, let's be careful out there.